Are you looking for inspiration for getting started in real estate? Stick with us as we explore the journey of Mandolyn McIntyre-Crow, who has a master's degree in marketing and advertising and decided to transition into real estate to have more freedom and flexibility versus going back to the office. She's never looked back. Mandolyn was an RisMedia 2023 Rookie of the Year finalist, completed an astonishing 38 transactions her first year, totaling almost 14 million in sales. Stick with us to hear how she did it.
Welcome to Unlocking Real Estate, My First Commission, where we dive into real stories, big wins, and early lessons learned from highly successful rookie real estate agents and brokers. This is the podcast where we explore how real estate transforms lives, one home at a time, by sitting down each week with a new agent or broker who has found incredible success in their first year. Your hosts are instructors and leaders at Colibri Real Estate School, one of the largest real estate educators in the nation, where we focus on helping people like you get started or find continued success in their careers.
Hello, and welcome to Unlocking Real Estate, My First Commission. I'm Tina Lapp, and I've been in real estate education for over 30 years, helping individuals enter and thrive in their real estate careers.
My name is Giovanna Mancuso. I'm your co-host. I've been in real estate for over 10 years, and I'm also a real estate instructor for both New York and Florida.
We are here today with Mandolyn McIntyre-Crow. Mandolyn, will you take a moment to introduce yourself, where you live, and what company you're with?
Yeah, so I'm Mandolyn. I'm with Real in Vermont. I cover the whole state, but I'm based in Rutland County.
Okay, great. So Mandolyn, what were you doing before you became a real estate agent?
I was actually working in television advertising. I was at an NBC affiliate in Vermont. I actually have my master's degree in marketing and advertising and my undergraduate in journalism. So it made sense for me to work in advertising for the news. So that's what I was doing right before I got into this.
Okay, great. So what inspired you to pursue your career in real estate?
There was a couple of things. For me, it wasn't that crazy of a jump. I had been in a commission-based job before, so I wasn't really that scared from going. I know a lot of people have to go from salary to commission, and it's scary. But I've been doing that for a while, so I knew, you have to hunt what you eat every day. I had that mentality, but I was really excited about the idea of there not being a ceiling. So as much as you work, the sky's the limit on how much you can make and do, and you really own your own business. You brand yourself, you are your company. So I just loved that idea.
Great. Was there a specific moment or person that influenced your decision?
Yeah, it's actually funny. So I started during COVID and we were all under lockdown, and I moved in with my boyfriend, who's now my husband. I moved down here, and it was getting to that point where they're asking you to go back to the office. And I'm like, oh, I kind of moved. So I've been thinking about real estate for a while, and it just made sense that this was the time to really make that jump. And my husband was so supportive at the time, and it just made sense having his support and being down here that it was time to do it.
I love that. And you're not alone, Mandolyn. Like a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, back to the office. We're hearing a lot about it now, right? So, so real estate offered you some freedom there.
Absolutely.
So you decided to get your license. How'd you decide where to take classes, how to take classes? What were you doing at the time? Were you still working full time as you went through classes?
So I kind of did things maybe a little backwards than some people. So I was still working. And I actually interviewed with brokerages before I even took my class. Okay. I wanted to find out. I had 3 in mind. I guess, you kind of interview the brokerage, right? So I went to see what would be a good fit. And I was very upfront that I hadn't taken my test yet, but I knew I was going to pass. I'm very confident in that. And during that whole process, one of them was like, hey, I'm going to send you a link to a class, like take this class. I had, I'm a very, in general, research a bunch of stuff. And that was the one thing I didn't do as much. And I wish I had put a little more into it to find something that was more my style and what I was going to do. But that's how I really, took my class.
And did you take classes then online, like asynchronous online, self-paced online?
Yeah, I did a hybrid model. So even though it was COVID, they had us go for the state portion was in person, and then the national was online.
Okay. And what was the toughest part of getting through the classes? Because you're working, you're talking to brokerages, now you're getting online. How'd you get through it?
I think the worst part was me, honestly. I was my own worst enemy. I didn't put in as much. It was always kind of, the third thing I was thinking of. I was still working and I wanted to get into real estate, and I wanted to have to leave that job, but have like some money in between. So I also started a business during that time of selling luxury clothing. So I was trying to run two things at once. So that I'd have some income and then also take the class. So, really, doing it online was absolutely great for me because I could juggle everything and fit it into my schedule. But yeah, I think it was, me. I think that I should have I did it over the course of many months. And then I had to go back and kind of cram the last week versus just, sticking to it and doing it every day.
Wow. How long did it take you to get through classes?
Oh my goodness. Probably like 3 months. Yeah, probably at least 3 months. I mean, I started and then I stopped. And then once it was like, it's go time, I really picked up the pace near the end.
Yeah. And that's got to be hard, starting and stopping. Like, if you could do it again, would you do it differently?
Oh, I would just go through. I would do it all at once. My husband's now a real estate agent, works with me. So I gave him that tip. I was like, just go through so it's fresh in your brain and, right before your test.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what were your expectations going into your first year as an agent?
Not what it ended up being. I really, I set up some lower standards, of like, okay, I'm going to set the bar really low, but I'm also going to shoot for the moon. But like, if I'm hovering off the ground with the fireflies, I'm cool with that. So, really, I set myself up so that I would, if I didn't close anything for 6 to 8 months, that I would, that's fine. And I had that in my brain, like this might not happen overnight. But I ended up closing my first transaction probably around 2 months after I started and just kept going.
So you read my mind. I was going to ask you that. How long did it take you to close your first transaction?
It was pretty fast. Yeah.
Great. So how did you market yourself as a new agent? Like, what kind of marketing channels or techniques did you use that you found were effective?
I really tried everything in the beginning. I really was dedicated to I knew for me that the first year was going to be, for me, the most important year to kind of get myself into the community. And I had just moved here during COVID. So I did not have a sphere. I didn't even know the towns in this county very well when I started. And I had just got out. So I was like, I got to build this. So I really started, I did a lot of canvassing like my neighborhood. I started with sending letters to all my neighbors. I'm a real estate agent. I sent to everybody I worked with at my previous companies, notes, letters, cards saying, I'm in real estate now. Please let your friends and family know. I just didn't want to be secret about it. I was very, very much on social media. Like every day. I'm the day in the life of a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent. I never was saying I'm a new real estate agent. I'm a baby agent. I was just going for it. I'm a real estate agent and trying to just make sure that people trusted me and not, oh, I'm kind of an agent. And then I dabbled in doing some online advertising to my sphere of influence of whose contact information I had. I joined a local board. I was like, I have to get involved with the community so people will meet me. So I went to board meetings for the Humane Society. So I tried to integrate myself into the community and just be like very, professionally persistent with everybody knowing who I was.
So how did you build your relationships with your clients?
I never was thinking this is the plan to build a relationship and I have to do these things. My whole philosophy has always just been show up authentic, be yourself, be a friend to them. Don't think of this as a transaction. You're going to do this and then you're going to move on. Especially in real estate, these people are going to be your neighbors and in your community, and you're going to see them at the grocery store. You're going to see them out and about. So really getting that like friendship with them and not trying to be someone you're not. I'm not for everybody, but like the people you are for are going to be there with you for life. So just really like leaning into who I am. I'm pretty bubbly and loud. I'm a little bit goofy, and just not trying to be somebody else, I think really helped me in my relationships with clients.
Did you have a mentor or a support system that helped you navigate during your first year?
Yeah. So I mentor agents now, and I tell them this, like, ask the questions, be very annoying. If you don't know the answer, ask someone. So my broker at the time was, I was like, oh my gosh, they're so sick of me. I'm calling them every 5 seconds. But I just wanted to make sure if I didn't know the answer, I was going to get the answer as fast as possible. And that was, I'm so grateful that he picked up my calls all the time and dealt with me during 38 transactions as a new agent. So it was a lot of phone calls. But yeah, I really tried to just never guess and ask a bunch of questions and keep going.
Great.
So Mandolyn, I got to dive deeper. Like, how did you do it? What do you think the success was behind 38 transactions your first year? I mean, the number is unbelievable. How'd you do it? Like, what do you think it was?
I think it was, I said yes to everything. So if someone called me and said, can you cover a showing? I'm going on vacation. Can you do this? Can you do an open house for me? I would write emails to other agents and just be like, do you need help? I'm a referral partner. I would reach out to other brokerages and say, hi, I'm an agent. I'm really hungry. I would love to be a referral partner if you have anyone in this area. I just said yes to everything. And if there was a buyer, this is also during COVID when it was really hard to get a house, especially up near the ski resort, and you'd show someone 30 houses, write 15 offers. And I just kept going, even if I knew it was going to be a tough client. I knew that at this point in my career, you can't say no to anything. Like, you're building your sphere, you take it all. They're going to like you and tell somebody else, even if you don't get them the house, like, they know that you persevered with them. So that's really what I think my success was, is just saying yes to things that nobody else was going to say yes to, and just going from that. And now I'm at a point where if I don't have the bandwidth for something, if I'm too busy, I can be that person that refers it to someone that's hungry and new if I don't have the time. So it all kind of works out in the end if you just say yes to everything in the very beginning.
Did you find success in open houses? I hear a lot of people say they don't, and some do. Did you find success in open houses?
Not if I did other people's. And in the very beginning, people always told me open houses don't work, but just do it just do it to make the seller happy. But for me, it wasn't. It was another tool to market myself. I'm live at an open house. I'm showing people I'm at an open house. I'm selling houses. Everybody knows I'm a real estate agent, right? And since I've grown in real estate, I find a lot of success now in open houses because my whole thing is you just can't throw it out there. You don't just slap it on the MLS. If you're going to have a successful open house, you need to market it. You need to canvass the neighborhood. You need to invite every neighbor and say, hey, do you have a friend that you want to live near you? Because this house is for sale and you should tell them to come. So really marketing them, you can get a great amount of people to come, but you can't just expect it to happen if you don't promote it, if you don't do social media and reach out.
So Tell us a little bit more about how you used your social media.
Yeah, I always say that I didn't want to be a secret agent, is what I called it. So you're not a secret agent. And I really leverage a lot of my, even currently, I kind of built it. So I think when I started, I maybe on Facebook had, I don't know, 1,000 or so followers. And now I'm up to around 5,000. And I got to that point by just making sure I connected with people, being consistent, of posting personal life, but also real estate. So I'm a person that does real estate, and then keeping myself authentic and engaged in stories, responding to people, being very vocal in community groups. Anytime anyone posted anything that had to do with real estate or or whatever, just commenting, just being engaged so that I was trying to put myself as the expert, in this area. I know where there's a great carpenter, and I know where this is, and just trying to engage as much as possible.
Yeah, that's great and great advice. So what were some of your biggest challenges you faced during your first year?
I mean, it was a lot.
Not enough time, huh?
Yeah. In your first year, you have to accept that everything is going to take you 4 times as long, right? You haven't written an offer before. You're going to have to allot that time. I remember my first offer I wrote, I showed them a house. There was an offer deadline that was 2 hours, in next, and it was at night. I had no internet yet because I was too far away. I drove to the office building. I was so new. I didn't have a code to get in. I sat outside with my laptop so I could get on the Wi-Fi on a stoop and wrote an offer with my broker on the phone. So just not knowing, now I can easily boop, 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 no stress, but not knowing that everything was going to take that long was really challenging. But once I realized, is just at peace with everything is going to take longer my first year, but just learn it right. Just don't wing it. And I think that was kind of the biggest challenge is you don't know what you don't know, but you can learn it.
Well, now you know, and I'm sure it saved you a lot of time. Now you've got a lot more business. Any memorable or funny experiences or transactions during your early days while you were still learning?
Oh my gosh, the whole thing was it was chaos, and it was fun chaos though. I mean, looking back at the time, you're oh my goodness. I mean, so many silly things happened. I remember I'm very good at this stuff now, a lockbox. You are very careful opening it because I dropped a key through a deck and had to take chopsticks out of my car, tape them together like a pole to try to get the keys out because I lost the keys. And the seller came back and saw me doing this stick maneuver, trying to get their keys. And I'm I am so sorry. And they just were you're fine. We have extras, but just the little things that would happen on a day-to-day basis. There's so many, I got attacked by a dog. I mean, and was running in front of clients. There's just walking in on somebody that's sleeping that didn't know about a showing. These are just the everyday things that can happen when you're at a volume of showing so many houses. The statistics that you're going to have something crazy happening are pretty high.
Yeah. And you figure it out, right? Obviously.
Yeah. It's a story later for everybody, oh my goodness, this is real estate.
Yeah, this is real estate. So any particular client interaction that has touched you, stands out to you in any way?
Oh my gosh. There's so many. I mean, I've laughed with clients. I've cried with clients. It's a really emotional job because sometimes it's somebody moving for fun and they're excited to move to a new place. And sometimes it's divorce and it's death and it's, things that are really emotional, and you have to kind of put yourself in that place. And maybe you're meeting with 5 different clients on one day and you have to be able to be emotionally present with them through all the things they're going through. But some of the things I look back on is just I like to focus on a lot of the wins that I've done for clients and where I just kind of was feeling defeated and it worked out in the end. And one was a client that I had that we looked at so many homes during COVID, and it was just not where they had a housing contingency, which was difficult at this time. And they were losing offers. And it was getting to a point they were getting discouraged. I was discouraged for them. And somebody called and was like, I might want to sell my house. I'm probably not going to use an agent. And they're trying to get some information out of me. And instead of being like, you know what, they're going to list on their own. I was like, well, where are you? Where's this house? Well, why don't I just I have a buyer like that I can bring to you. You don't even have to list with me. We can get this, just go. And brought them in. They loved the idea, and they got to have a house that did not have any competition. It was absolutely perfect. I remember walking in and being like, poker face. I know it's really good. We're like, just calm. Don't scream because you're excited. And it all worked out, and it's amazing. And now like I go over and, to Halloween, I sit outside with them on the porch and give out candy. And it's just really great to see that it worked out for all parties.
Great. So where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
I mean, I'm definitely going to be in Italy, in a villa, hanging out with George Clooney on Lake Como. No, I mean, I'm definitely going to be still in real estate. Like, I think that once you get past a certain point in real estate, I know that there's people that leave all the time or go part. Once you get it really like deep in you, you can't get out. You love it. You love it for like the chaos that it is and the high winds. It's amazing. So, I really see myself growing, more. In the last year. I switched brokerages. I took like a big risk, and I was the first person to join Real in my county. So I was number one. I was like one of the first in the state. And, since then the community has grown. There's like about 20 of us now. And so, I really want to continue doing that and growing the team that I work with. It's just so fun. Like, we have such a good time. It's all people that have the same energy, group text, and like having that feeling now of people that are collaborating and not competing has been amazing. So I want to kind of expand that, grow the team, grow a culture of real estate agents so people don't feel like they're isolated, because sometimes you can think of everyone as competition, but I don't. I mean, maybe that's a little bit cocky, but I just think that people are going to choose you for you. And if I'm not for you, then somebody else wasn't. It wasn't meant for me. And I think we all need to really see that in each other and have more events and learn from each other. Like, it doesn't matter what brokerage you're at. The better we are together, it's just helping our community, like learn from each other and help each other out. So I see myself going into that route as well. And then of course I'm still going to be selling homes.
So Mandolyn, any tips or tricks that you'd like to share with aspiring real estate agents?
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of go back on like a little bit of the stuff I've said is, earlier is like, say yes to everything. It doesn't matter. Just, you gotta say yes to everything. Even if you're like, oh, gosh, it's a Saturday at 7:30 p.m. and I want to go to my friend's house, show that house. Like, just do it, because you got to do it in the beginning. Don't be a secret agent. I know you might feel cringy telling everybody you're an agent and popping up at everything saying, I'm a real estate agent. But you got to, like, if 10 people think that you're being a weirdo, there's going to be at least one or two others that are going to use you to sell their house, and it's all worth it. So just keep it up. Don't listen to anybody else. And you're going to love it.
Great advice. Where did you move from before you were in Vermont?
Before Vermont, I was in LA. LA.
Okay.
And then I moved. I've lived in LA, New York, Boston. I lived in South Korea. I lived in London. So I've lived kind of all over the place, but I'm originally from Vermont. So I moved back, and then I was at NBC in northern Vermont, and now I'm in central Vermont.
Okay. All right. So, but you went in, and it's a market that you weren't that familiar with. And
not at all.
Now you've created expertise and a following and trust, and just fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
we're going to jump into our lightning round. Just a couple of fun questions to get to know a little bit more about you. So yeah, just casual fun. Is there a book or a podcast that you've read or listened to that you would recommend for the audience?
Yes. I've just been listening to 10 Times is Better Than 2 Times. Amazing. Just putting in 10 times, shoot for 10 times versus 2 times the amount of that you're doing now, and you can reach it. It's going to be easier. It's just fabulous.
That's great. Probably highly motivational as well.
Yes.
Yeah, super cool. If we had a time machine and you could go back to the day you started this journey for your real estate career, what advice would you give yourself?
Relax. I took everything in the very beginning. Oh my gosh, relax, girl. You're fine. Like everybody's new at some point. You're fine.
That's great. And mistakes happen and there's nothing you can't fix, right? Yeah.
You learn from it. You got to do it.
Yeah. Oh, you're fun. You could have dinner with one person, dead or alive. Who would it be and why?
Oh, dead or alive. Because I was like, this is going to be probably polarizing. This is where everyone's like, oh, we're not on Mandolyn's side. I'm going to say Taylor Swift, and this is why. You don't have to like her music, but I think she's such an incredible businesswoman, and she's been bullied, and she's been at the top of her game, and she just pops back up. And she was a cat lady before being a cat lady was cool. I don't even know if it's cool right now, but she just kind of has been like authentically putting it out there. Whether or not you like her, she's created a great business.
I think that's a great answer. It's a great answer. What'd you do at work yesterday?
Oh my gosh. Yesterday? What even was yesterday? I did a CMA. I had a couple of showings. I finished up some marketing newsletter that I've been working on. I had lunch with an agent, a newer agent that's going to be joining my brokerage. I probably did a million other things, like 5,000 emails, 900 phone calls, the usual,
Sounds like the day of a real estate agent, a successful real estate agent. So, Mandolyn, where can listeners connect with you and follow your journey?
I'm very active on Facebook, and I'm the only Mandolyn McIntyre in the world. So I'm very easy to find if you write that in there. If there's another one, let me know. That would be wild, but I'm pretty sure I'm the only one in the world. So that's a great place to start. I'm also on Instagram, the real Mandolyn, the.real.mandolyn. Also, Mandolyn, you're going to find me. So those are really great places that I'm the most active on.
All right. So thank you, Mandolyn, for spending some time with us and sharing your journey. I know your story will inspire those interested in starting a career in real estate and trying to get their careers launched by listening to you and some of the tips and tricks that you had given us today. So I thank you very much. Great job. Some of the things that you've said, completely 100% accurate for that first year starting in real estate.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Congratulations on your success, Mandolyn.
Thanks for listening to Unlocking Real Estate, My First Commission. We hope today's stories and insights gave you that extra spark to keep moving forward in your real estate career. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. It helps us reach more listeners like you. And don't forget you can watch this or other episodes on our YouTube channel. We'd also love to hear from you. Send your comments, key takeaways, or recommendations for future guests to unlockingrealestate@colibrirealestate.com.